Hey, everybody. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Teri Hunter. I'm an intuitive astrologer, and I'm here today to talk about the new moon in Aquarius that's happening on February 9th, 2024 at 2:59 p.m. Pacific time. This is the fourth new moon at the 20th degree, which I think is significant because the 20th degree is the Scorpio degree, a degree of great transformation, power, and control. So let's talk a little bit about what a new moon is. A new moon is where the sun and the moon come together in the darkest phase of the moon to plant the seeds for something new to begin. This planting is done in faith when we cannot actually see with our physical eyes things growing and maturing. So we nurture something from the inside out, meaning from our emotional body into the physical world. Now, when we look at the sign of Aquarius, this is an air sign. It's the fixed expression, the masculine expression of air. And it really represents humanity. It represents the rebellion within, rebellion without, liberation from that which holds us back. It represents science and space and technology and moving into the future. It also represents the highest expression of the human thought, and we call that genius. So here, as we plant the seeds in the new moon of Aquarius, we're really planting the seeds for our own individual expression and how that individual expression contributes to the collective. I'm going to click on this moon to show you what aspects it's making. Right now, it is making a favorable aspect to the South Node in Libra. Now, Libra is a lot about other people, but individual people, whereas Aquarius is really about a larger group of people where you don't necessarily see the individual faces. That's why we call it the conscious collective or humanity. Here, the South Node represents a point of, they say a point of erosion, a point of loss. It's where we excrete toxic waste. And it's also a point that represents where we have habitual habits. So the South Node transiting the Libra energy is calling forth the individual within the couple. And this very much complements the expression of Aquarius, which wants to express its individual uniqueness. We also see that the South Node is at the 17th degree, which is the Leo degree. So this is about having the courage to follow my heart, to allow my birthing of myself in a way that supports the individual's perception of that. So where I'm going with this is I feel like this new moon, while it will always in Aquarius represent a bigger picture, again, the collective, here, when I'm planting those seeds for the new moon, I'm representing to humanity what happens when I honor the individual. Now, it's interesting too, this new moon is making a square to the ruler of Aquarius, which is Uranus. Uranus is at the Libra degree. So this is potentially a challenge because what we're planting in the seeds of the darkest phase of the moon could very well, in some ways, rub up against my personal history. It could rub up against my, stretching myself to use my skills to birth myself, my voice. Taurus rules our family history. It rules our personal skills, our ability to make our own money using our talents and skills. It represents food and, in many ways, things that bring us security and safety that are material in the earth world, or in the earthly world, I should say. So here, this square could very well be where you're planting the seeds in this sign of innovation, in this sign of the future, and this sign that calls for us to rebel against that which has been expected of us traditionally within our partnerships and our sense of cooperation with others. Now we see that this ruling planet of Uranus in Taurus is asking to be revolutionized from anything that is holding me back, anything that's tethering me to not recognizing my genius, not recognizing my own. I guess the way I want to put it is that when we express ourselves authentically, others respond to it in a way that gives them permission to express themselves authentically. And then we end up attracting the people that resonate with that authenticity. So the challenge may be here between the new moon and the Uranus in Taurus is that here I am looking to my future while others are expecting me to behave the way I have habitually. And I am unexpectedly shifting my way of being, which is throwing them off. So now let's look and see what's happening in the rest of the chart while this new moon is being planted, because we see Pluto here, the sign that rules the eighth house traditionally, has moved into Aquarius at this time of the new moon in the Pacific time. The chart is reading with a Cancer rising in whole sign. And I bring that up because I think it's significant that Pluto, the ruler of the eighth house, is here at this new moon in the eighth house. The Mercury being here, Mars being here, and Venus being here is really having me examine how I have traditionally behaved, whether I have behaved in a way that was supporting what I want or moving me away from it. Mars is exalted in the sign of Capricorn. So here I believe Mars is in its best energy to be thoughtful, strategic, and planning for sustainable situations. Here, Venus is representing my skills. I believe when Venus is in Capricorn, she's talking about using her voice, talking about using her skills, creating her own sense of security, her own sense of safety. So this whole conversation during the new moon is how I think, what do I speak, how do I interact in my everyday activities, Mercury. Pluto, that deep dive into my psychology. Am I allowing my unique expression or am I dumbing it down? Mars is offering me yet another opportunity because Mars is here at that Gemini degree to be brave in my thought. And here's Venus at the 21st degree, which is the Aquarian degree. No, I'm sorry. It's the Sagittarius degree. Excuse me. And this to me is broadening my thoughts, thinking to myself, Sagittarius rules our foreign people, foreign places, etc. But it also rules publishing, branding, influencing, and commerce. So here we're seeing an opportunity to really get brave about using my skills as these two planets will move into the sign of Aquarius later on this month. We also have during this new moon, we have Saturn making a very favorable aspect in the form of a sextile to Jupiter. Jupiter is moving forward. We're going towards the grand conjunction. And here, this is again an opportunity to expand my thoughts. Taurus rules my family history. Saturn rules history in general, time, father time. So here we're really getting an opportunity through this sextile to see things from a more broader perspective, believing that there is a sense of order in the universe. This sextile between Jupiter and Saturn will bring that to the forefront. It will also require us to be diligent in our actions as we continue to stretch ourselves without necessarily seeing the manifestation just yet. We can see this half square to Venus, from Venus to Saturn. So she's not exactly being able to see the manifestation just yet. She's still planning for its sustainability. We also see that we have Neptune making a favorable aspect to both Mars and Venus during this time. So this could very much being brave about my own sense of creativity. It's also about being brave and being diligent about connecting with source. You can call it God, you can call it the angels, you can call it whatever you want, your higher power, your inner being. But here, this is very much fostering a sense of trusting that if you have a yearning for something, you also have the skills to be able to birth it into the material world. We see Neptune is moving forward at 26 degrees. This is the Taurus degree. The Taurus degree is ruled by Venus, so the sextile is favoring that. Again, I want to emphasize that this 20th degree new moon is the fourth in a series of 5 new moons. And I think the 20th degree is significant because while Scorpio rules other people's money, it rules power and control, it rules death and taxes, and it rules sex, it also rules the deepest psychology that holds us back from our dreams. The ones where we are overly invested in other people's opinions of our dreams. And if they don't align with that, then we can sometimes shy away from it. So here, I really believe that this is birthing an individuality and having a certain awareness that if I have been tethered to an old story, it will somehow serve as we allow this to gestate, this what we plant in this new moon, allowing that to gestate. The reveal will come later on in the year. And I believe that we'll see some of that when we get to this Jupiter Uranus conjunction in April, but we'll be feeling it in May. So these are the powerful points of this new moon. If you enjoy doing any sort of honoring of the new moon rituals, or new moon ceremonies, I would suggest that this be very much about you as an individual and how you would like to move forward as Pluto moves through Aquarius for the next 20 years. It's going to give us an opportunity to reinvent ourselves and align ourselves to the truth of our soul versus the truth of our physical personality and ego. Okay, that's it for me for the new moon in Aquarius. I will be back when we see the full moon coming up in Leo. Oh, no, we had the full moon in Leo. So we'll be having a full moon in Virgo next. All right, everybody. I look forward to seeing you soon, and have a great new moon. Bye-bye.